and I'm a grateful recovering addict. Clean today through God's grace, a 12-step program. Just wanted to get straight into a video. You know, I've not made one for a while. Where I'm at. Step 2. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. See, I sort of understood this step, understood about what a power greater than me was that would restore me to sanity and stop me from using drugs. Made me believe that something more powerful than me would stop me from picking up drugs and change my thinking in a way. And I sort of struggled with this because in step 1 it says we're powerless. You know what I mean? We admit that we're powerless over our disease, that our lives have become unmanageable, and we had to surrender to the fact that we're powerless, and then hand our will and our life over to the care of God. You know what I mean? Or God as we understand Him. And it has to be like God as we understand Him, because not everybody believes in God, and He doesn't have to actually be God. It just has to be something that you believe in. You know, a lot of people talk about being spiritual and having beliefs, but anyway, not a lot of people believe in God, and God is my saviour and He guides me today. You know what I mean? I put in the work, I put in the action into my life, and God takes care of the outcome. And sort of always knew this, do you know what I mean? And always been in that frame of mind, but never really looked into it or had any understanding of how it sort of works. And so anyway, step 2, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. And I remember doing this step, and I did it because I was feeling a lot of pain. You know what I mean? I was in a lot of pain at the time because step 1 left me powerless. Admitting all that stuff and all them wrongs and all them behaviours and stuff left me feeling quite vulnerable, and I needed that power greater than myself, because I actually physically felt like I was going insane, you know, and the pain was just internal. It was just an internal fucking pain that I couldn't put my finger on. And I did this. I believe that I did this exactly how it's meant to be. You know what I mean? Because if I'd have just brushed over step 1, gone straight into step 2, brushed over step 2, and then, you know what I mean, I've actually felt these steps. You know what I mean? I've just finished step 2, and I've got it, and this is what happened. I writ step 2 out like I fucking knew it. I knew it all, and you know what I mean? And I started to think that because I writ it out and I found it quite easy to write out, sort of like give me that false sense of security that I knew what I was doing, and I didn't, because becoming to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity, it implies that it's not you. Do you know what I mean? It's not you that's got that power. But all we have to do is just believe. You know, and believing doesn't really take much action. It just takes observation. And I writ the step out, and then I sat there and I thought to myself, well, why do I not feel any better? Because I've writ it out and I understand it. And the point I'm trying to make is that I never applied it into my life. And I went 2-3 weeks, I sat on step 2, and I didn't feel any different. I didn't feel any better. And I sort of had high expectations of this step, that this step had fixed me, and it just never. So a power greater than yourself to restore you to sanity can be anything, really. And I never knew this, you know. I thought it was just God. I thought it would just, like, you know, be a bit more religious or just pray a bit more, and I already had that in the bank, you know what I mean. I thought, oh, brilliant, it's God. And then I got told that it's just different. A power greater than yourself isn't your higher power or something that you have faith in, you know what I mean. It's not something that you pray to every morning or meditate around, I'd sort of say. But so I'm in the process now of just applying that step 2 into my life, and I find it really difficult, me. I find it really difficult, you know what I mean. I don't like to admit that I can't do this on my own. I don't like that, even to today, you know what I mean. I try and take my power back, I try and take my will back, I try and make it out like I know everything, and not allow other people to help me, and it stops me from growing as a person, because I know fuck all. I know nothing. You know what I mean? How can I know something about what's going to go happen tomorrow, or what's going to happen today in time that doesn't even exist yet? I don't know how my own head can lie to me and make me feel like I know what I'm doing, and that lands me in a lot of pain, you know what I mean. And it doesn't happen instantly. It sort of like gradually happens, and then before you know it, I'm sat there and I'm thinking, fuck me, I feel like shit. I feel on my own. I feel fucking isolated. I feel like nobody wants to help me, and then my disease starts to activate, then starts to play on my insecurities, and starts rowing me deeper into that pain. And it's only when that pain comes that ultimately I have a dicky fucking noggin that I'll always return to drugs to be my answer. You know what I mean? That's what the disease of addiction is, in my mind, in the way I look at it. It has me. It slowly, progressively drives me into that hole in new ways. It manifests its way in new ways, you know what I mean. It knows that I'm not going to go out and go, I'm going to use today, you know, brilliant, I'm going to use today. It knows I'm not going to use on a happy vibe. So what it'll try and do is it'll try and rob me from all the stuff that I've built up, you know what I mean. It's like admitting that I'm powerless. So basically, my disease will just try and make me think that I've got the power to do it on my own. It'll try and convince me over a couple of days or even a week that I've got the power to do this on my own, and then remove that power, like basically just overlap what I've done in step 1 and tell me that which step 1 tells me that I'm powerless. You know, self-diagnosed myself in step 1, it'll slowly re-diagnose, if that's what it's called, and sort of like take away the insane thinking around it and make it look sane, you know, over a period of time. It could be days, weeks, months, and we sort of like brush it off and then go into old habits again. And I found myself in a lot of pain, and it was only after like 2 weeks I started to think about using again. And it's like, hang on a minute, I've got this far. Yesterday or a week ago, using drugs were like the last thing on my mind. But slowly my head's had me off over a couple of weeks, and sort of started like working the steps backwards, making me feel like I've got the power today, making me feel like I'm sane, you know, making me feel like shit inside, internally. And when I feel like I can do it on my own, there you go, I'm isolated. I'm straight away, I'm isolated. Not physically or mentally, but emotionally and spiritually isolating myself inside. And as soon as I isolate that spiritual side of my program, or the spiritual side of my life, that fucking void opens. That void opens, you know what I mean? And it's only a matter of time before it starts fucking sucking like a fucking vortex. And I mean it. And if you're an addict, if you self-diagnose yourself as an addict in step 1, you'll fucking understand exactly what I'm on about. And this is a process. It's a process, you know what I mean? Everyone's saying to me it's a process, and it is a process to get out of it and shut that void, and then start building on it, and start building tools to stop that void from opening up. And I felt the void open up, and it was only a matter of time before it started fucking sucking, you know what I mean, and dragging me in, dragging my behaviours in with it, dragging everything that I've built around my recovery in with it, and leaving me just powerless over my addiction. And me having a dodgy fucking noggin, as I say, that always the moral compass of my fucking head always reverts back to fucking using drugs like it's a fucking answer. It's only a matter of time before that happened. I'm blessed today to know this, you know what I mean? I'm blessed today to be quite vigilant around all this stuff, and it's only having the freedom from active addiction and working this program that's allowed me to think like this now, and know that I'm only powerless over my disease if I allow it to manifest long enough and don't do what other people have advised me to, well, not advised me to do, other people have suggested for me to do. You know, I feel like I got to the point where I felt like I sort of like knew what was going on. You know what I mean? How can I fucking know what's going on? You know what I mean? I've stopped putting drugs. I've put drugs down for a bit. I need to get on the phone to somebody that's got years and years and years clean. They know what they're doing. They've been in that situation before, and I need to put myself around people that are going to restore me to sanity when I fucking open my mouth and tell them how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Like I'll ring somebody and tell them that I feel like I'm on my own, or I feel like I'm lost. I feel like a bit down and a bit under, and I feel like this, and then they help me pull it apart. That's a power greater than me. My daughter, going to pick my daughter up, my daughter will stop me from using today. You know what I mean? She never did. She never used to. My daughter won't get me in the way. My daughter, my family, my friends, you know, nothing like that would ever stop me from using. But today I can use them as powers greater than myself to restore me to sanity and make me stop picking up. You know what I mean? They'll stop me from picking up, because my disease is arrested today. I arrested it in step 1. I self-diagnosed myself in step 1 that I'm insane. I'm powerless. So that's just where I am today. Sort of trying to imply step 2 into my life, because I feel quite vulnerable still. You know what I mean? I still feel a bit like I'm on rocky ground. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm clean today, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have understanding. It's surprising us as addicts, as even normal people, like even normal people, well, I say normal people, just people that don't suffer from this disease. Surprising how we can overlook a problem. We already know what the solution is to this problem, and we'll let it grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, and it'll manifest itself. And we could have sorted it out straight away, but we leave it until it grows and grows and grows and grows, and then and when it causes us so much pain, when this minor issue first made itself noticeable to you, if you would have got up and took action and done it, something about it, or got someone else to help you with it, it'd have been fine. But we leave it until it grows and grows and grows until it's completely unmanageable. It causes a shitload of pain, it stresses us out, makes us feel like shit, and then we start taking action then. And then it's like sort of like self-punishment, you know what I mean? Self-punishment, like, why do we do that? I don't get it, me. I don't get it. But I even do that today. I know, like, if something's bothering me, and I'll fucking sit with it for ages. I'll jump on it, I'll go, I'll have that, and I'll let it fucking cause me a shitload of pain before I do anything about it. You know, and I suppose this goes just with a lot of things, you know, like, you get a red letter fruit fucking post for a credit card, and you could have paid the £8.50 off it, minimum payment. You don't fucking pay it, even though you've got the money to pay it. You don't pay it, and you leave it, and you leave it, and you leave it, and before you know it's £100. You know what I mean? And then we'll go out and pay it. Parking fine, parking bills, parking fine. I've done this me before. Parking fine, got a £30 parking fine for it. Pay today, £30. No, chucked it in glove box. Sort of fucking thought it'd sort itself out. 2 weeks later, another bill, £60. Fuck them. Bit of resentment. I'm not doing that. Chuck it back in glove box. Another week later, £120, and it's like, for fuck's sake, they're not going away, these, and I pay it. Now that's insanity. You know what I mean? Now that's fucking insanity. You know what I mean? That is exactly what insanity is. Me thinking that I've got the power to just go sort itself out. That. Now if I'd have just rung somebody and said it, and did they turn around to me and said, just pay it, Neil. I'd have paid it. I'd have got someone else's opinion on it. I'd have paid it. And that somebody else would have restored me to sanity. Having understanding around step 2 is alright, you know what I mean? You need understanding around it. Applying it into your life is a fucking another story. And I've learned this the hard way. You need to start reaching out more. You need to start finding people that will restore you to sanity, you know what I mean? And being more open and honest, going to more meetings. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to do back on a 1990 me, because I need this stuff. I want this stuff. I want to recover. You know, a lot of people, they do step 1 and they fucking ease off, and they ease off for a long time, and they sort of sit there like and they sit back and they just course through the step work, and they have to be prompted to do it. Well, I'm not prompted to do step work. I'm not prompted to do recovery. I'm not prompted because I'm doing it for me. You know what I mean? I'm doing this for me. I want to be the most recovered person I can possibly become, and it's a process that's never ending. So I'll never ever slack off. But what I need understanding around today is how to apply them steps into my life. That's all it's not all I need, but that's where I'm struggling at the moment. You know what I mean? I'm not struggling to go to meetings. I'm not struggling to reach out. I'm not struggling to understand what's going on inside me. But I am powerless over knowing what's going to happen. And I'm powerless over knowing what's going to come and how to deal with new situations and new scenarios, and admitting that I'm powerless over places, people and things, and exchanging them ones for people, places and things that are a power greater than myself, and that will help me restore me to sanity and give me my best possible chance of growing as a person and staying clean. You know what I mean? And well, listening to something yesterday, and it says a grateful addict a grateful addict, it's rarely known that a grateful addict will ever relapse. And I did a gratitude list last night for the first time, and I found it really fucking hard, do you know what I mean? Like proper hard to find out, to actually, and I've got like so many things to be grateful for, and how I found that so hard to do, you know what I mean? How my disease was just manifesting itself in robbing me of that gratitude, of the little things in my life, and me like being insane by not knowing it, you know what I mean? Dragging me away from that presence in my life, and leaving me feeling really down, you know what I mean? Even sober, even, you know, even clean today, left me feeling really down. Like, my life is like a million times better than it's ever been, ever. But I was struggling to see that because my disease was active, because I wasn't applying step 2 in my life. You know what I mean? I was going insane because I needed a power greater than myself to restore me to sanity. And that's a process as well. You know what I mean? Having high expectations around this stuff is not the way to do it. So the first thing I woke up today, and I said, and I was grateful for, is another day clean. And that's all I need to be grateful for, is just another day clean. And we keep it simple. You know, I try and complicate the fuck out of everything, me. Complicate everything. You know what I mean? The minute something doesn't fucking sit right with me, I'll grab it with both hands and I'll allow it to cause me a load of pain. That's fucking unnecessary. I think a lot of people do the same thing, so I thought I'd make a little video about it today. Let everybody know where I'm at. I'm grateful today. Stay blessed.